All right, I think they're ready for us. You ready? All right, let's get it. So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. As always, we appreciate you always being here to give us support, give us your feedback, and always just having a good time, whether it's following us, talking to us on Twitter, or even the comments you end up putting below on the YouTube channel. All of it is extremely helpful and just shows that you support us and want to see this channel continue to grow and just continue to see what we're doing grow. Today is going to be Mr. Solo because we got a special guest tomorrow. So Steven going to hold it down tomorrow on the quick slant with some good content over there. As always, my name is Christian Hayes, aka AO Shifty on Twitter. You can find me or also known as Hayes. So this is me for today, but then got to give a big shout out to the one of the best co-hosts out there. So Steven, aka Steven_Springs. You can find him or follow the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notifications, if you want to just stay up to date on what we're doing, and also follow the Twitter channel. So we got next podcast, probably WGN Podcast over there. And shout out as always to the haters. This week has been so much stuff going on. I know you all remember when said the same thing when it was a big day in sports. Honestly, for me, when it comes to sports and finance, this past week has been all that you could ask for. Good, bad, ugly. It depends on how you want to see it. But before anything, just make sure tomorrow we have a big episode of the Quick Slant, and then we're going to go right into that fast break. It's going to start with this, and then we just going to keep on going for the rest of the night. So first thing I want to end up showing everybody and just letting everybody see and just pay attention to is, big thing is this video right here. So everyone out there that took their kids trick-or-treating or anything like that, let's start with this. Homie just rolled up in the Jeep, the little kid Jeep, hopped out, got the candy, said, all right, I'm about to go put it in the back seat, in the bag. And please look at this. He's better than half the drivers we see out on the roads on 95, 495, anything. He said, let me pull up, reverse. He hit the three-pointer, one, said, all right, let me change gears, and we out for the day. So that's the fast break we got for today. My man's over here trick-or-treating the new school. He's saying you all doing it wrong. By the way, you guys want to end up walking? Nah, we taking this new school. We getting in our vehicles, driving, got to make sure the gas or the battery working, and then we gonna hop out with the candy. Ain't nobody gonna get us. So that's what we got over there for the fast break video. Next thing I want to end up touching on before we get too deep into everything else is we're going to go into the cryptocurrency side of things. As I mentioned before, there's a lot in the cryptocurrency world. So we're going to start with, first off, on Sunday, we did have the Bitcoin close, which is always a big thing. And Bitcoin closed around 60,000. So 61,000. And that was something that a lot of people started freaking out saying, oh no, Plan B was wrong. But when he made these predictions, it was so long ago that you can't even hate or be mad at how close he was. He even said, oh, just a little rounding, estimation off. And that's mad respect for doing this when the price of Bitcoin was even less than the all-time high of Bitcoin, saying that this point we'd be at 63,000. For it to close at 60, a little above 60,000, you can't be mad at that at all. So right now, earlier today, we were above 63,000, but currently we're sitting at 62,830, and we're only on November 3rd at the time of this recording. The next one, Ethereum, do not sleep on Ethereum because there are so many different cryptocurrencies that are being built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. There are other blockchains that things are being built on, but the big one is still Ethereum. And it just keeps moving up, which is going to happen. They have NFTs, they have other companies that are being built on it. You always have to remember USDC is on there as well. But Ethereum's sitting at number 2, 45.65, and Binance Coin. So big with all the different decentralized exchanges they have out there. A lot of people are starting to pay attention more to what Binance Coin is doing. They did have a little bit of an issue not too long ago when they suspended a lot of the withdrawals on the Binance Smart Chain. So that was something that some people took an issue to. It did affect me for a second because I usually like to get a good amount of my meme coins when I do participate in it. I like to get some of my meme coins out there on Binance Smart Chain because you don't got to worry about the fees and things of that nature. PancakeSwap does have fees, but they're not as expensive as the Ethereum gas fees. I promise you, if you're going to go into an Ethereum based meme coin, you better be trying to stay in that for a minute. Do not try and hop in and hop out if you only got $150 because your money gone. Unless you can say this is about to be 100x in a day or a couple of days, you better make sure you got money on the side, because to trade in and out with the gas fees the way that they are, it's kind of expensive. So they make the jokes all the time that, oh, you paid $90 in gas fees, and when you're paying 500, 600,000. So I'm like, nah, not about to do that. Solana up there, number 4, $243. Solana has made a lot of improvements, has made a lot of growth, and I have to commend them over there for what they're doing. The next one, USDT, that's the one that a lot of people like to go with. They have various different ways you can withdraw and transfer USDT. A lot of people, you'll start to notice, will use the Tron version of it, so the TRC20, because you only have to pay $1, if that, in fees. Some exchanges allow you to withdraw for free. So just pay attention to that, because if you use the Ethereum-based USDT, it will cost you around like $15 to $20 sometimes. I have seen it as high as like $30. And then Cardano's up there. I was talking to some people not too long ago. They were asking what are my thoughts on Cardano. And the other one was Matic, aka Polygon. And I've seen Cardano and Matic when they were sitting at less than 2 pennies during the bear market. So to see Cardano where it is now, you guys can look at it. I mean, do the math. That's 100x right there if you would just hold it. But Cardano and Charles Hoskinson, they're going to always be up here because they are, well, Charles is from the Ethereum, and he helped to create Ethereum. So that's why you also see Gavin Wood that's in there. You'll notice Polkadot just had a good run. They should be within like the top 20 or so. I think I saw them not too long ago. Oh yeah, Polkadot's at number 8. And the one that you guys need to watch out for, and I'm gonna keep saying it over and over until it happens, Luxo. Pay attention to them. Research their founder, research the co-founder of it. They're both geniuses. They were in New York City. So the Big Apple this week with the NFT in New York City, but Fabian and Marjorie are doing big things with Luxo. And you all need to make sure to pay attention, because if these 3 are all in the top 10 when it comes to founders of Ethereum, who else is going to be up there too? Just do the math. It's going to be that simple. We'll touch on Luxo in a little bit. But then sitting at number 7, XRP. XRP was one of those OGs that a lot of people hate on, but XRP is going to be up there for a minute. Number 8, we got Polkadot. I just brought that up, $52. So they're doing a lot too. You have to see what Kusama's doing. Remember Moon River. They have a lot of different projects, Polka starters out there. So they're coming. And Dogecoin, something that I can get into. Notice Dogecoin stayed on number 9. Shiba Inu did pass Dogecoin for a second. But some of the people that were in Shiba Inu are looking for the next big meme coin. They got their money here, so they're switching their money out. And they'll end up putting their money into other cryptocurrencies. Well, more so other meme coins. We'll touch on some meme coins here. I don't get too deep into meme coins. If you follow the Shipping with Digital page, I'm not one that's going to talk a lot about the meme coins there. But on my personal page, so you'll see at AO Shippy, I do mention some of the meme coins. Some of them are jokes, so shout out Steven because he's not here today, so I can go on a little bit about some of the meme points that he'd probably be like, what the hell do you guys get yourselves into? And number 10, you have USDC. So you have that stable coin. Notice there's 2 stable coins right there. And then Shiba Inu at number 11. You have Luna, $47. That top 10 is going to be constantly rotating and changing around. And also pay attention to the market caps. So watch the gap between the number 9 spot of Dogecoin and the number 8 spot of Polkadot. That's easy math of $20 billion difference. You have Polkadot that's in that $55 billion market cap. And then you have Dogecoin that's sitting at a $35 billion market cap. So a lot of these people that are saying, oh, cryptocurrency isn't going to be here forever. You go look at real-time companies, even in the S&P 500, that are sitting at 30, 40, 50 billion dollar market caps. I know all the cryptocurrencies out here, there's over 10,000. All of them aren't going to be around. But I can tell you one thing, those two in the top two are going to be around, and Bitcoin and Ethereum, regardless. The rest of them will switch around. Binance Coin, Binance in itself, they've been around for a minute. They became popular during the 2017, 2018 bull run. CZ has done a lot over there. They've had their ups and downs, and their prices just shot up. So we'll end up continuing to see what they end up doing over there. That was the big thing that I wanted to bring up in terms of the cryptocurrency top 10. I'll try to always go over that with you guys. The next thing I want to end up talking to you all about is the post that we end up doing today on the Shift More Digital page. So a lot of times with these meme coins and a lot of these other underrated cryptocurrencies, they're not going to be on your centralized exchanges yet. They're always going to start off, most of the time, let me preface that, most of the time they will start off on your decentralized exchanges. So it's easier to get listed on these decentralized exchanges, but it's also tougher for people to vet through it. On centralized exchanges, you don't have as many rug pulls, and you don't have as many fraudish type. You do have a lot of frauds and scams on the centralized exchanges, but in terms of decentralized exchanges, it's not as many. So just going through this for you all, and you can look at it on your own time. We talked about Uniswap because that's a big one that a lot of people know. SushiSwap is another one. They had some concerns for a second, but they're continuing to do it. QuickSwap. So for anyone out there that has not heard of QuickSwap, I suggest you do some research on QuickSwap as well. Pangolin, we had Leo on the show, the community manager. Pangolin is continuing to do things. They're based on the Avalanche blockchain, PancakeSwap, like I mentioned before. And with all of this, we always want to make sure we're putting market caps, and then you can also see the trading volume. So that's a big thing, liquidity. For a lot of these whales that are out there, a lot of these billionaires, they want to see liquidity. If they put in a good amount, they want to make sure they can get in and out. So when Elon Musk was talking about, he sold some of the Bitcoin that Tesla owned, they wanted to test liquidity. I don't think they needed to do it the way they did it, but they were doing that to make sure that if they sold, it would sell and they don't have to hold on to it, or they have to sell at a lower price. That's a big thing with the stock market. The stock market, especially the S&P 500, is very liquid. You can get in and out of your trades without having to worry about the price dropping so far that you can't get in and out. So they have millions of shares all the time out there, and they have trillions of dollars that are being exchanged on the stock market, whether it's just personal people, personal trading, you have institutional investors, you have a bunch of 401ks, you have pensions, all of that is being traded on the stock market. Companies do it. So that's another one. Radium. So we brought up Solana before. So Radium is based on Solana. And then we have Trader Joe. That's one that a lot of people have started to use. And so they're based on Avalanche. Avalanche has two that we just brought up. Spooky Swap. So shout out Spooky Swap for liking the tweet as well. But Spooky Swap is on Phantom. Going into this, Phantom and Travel Finance, which is one we have talked about, Phantom and Travel Finance have a lending pool that they're doing. So you can take part in that. But Spooky Swap is one. Do not sleep on it. Currently, if you notice, it's at $185 million $185 million in trading volume, and the market cap is only $133 million for the utility token BOO, so the Spooky token. So make sure you all end up checking that out. Another one was Dodo that we had too. So that's just a couple of them that we wanted to end up talking to you all about and just mentioning. As always, just do your own due diligence. Don't just trust what we say. We try to give you all enough content so that it is helpful, but make sure to end up looking yourself, research it, just double check what we have so that you all can say that you did your due diligence too with all of this. Going into the next bit of news, I did want to talk about the Squid Game token. So this is something that was brought up to me, and I did look at the chart as well. So Squid Game token had a rug pull happen. And for everyone out there, I do sympathize with you. I understand fully what you're going through because I've been in a couple of different rug pulls. It does not feel good. You want to find out some way, somehow, that you can get your money. And that's the unfortunate part. When you're in the wild, wild west of cryptocurrency, you probably won't get your money back. There are rare occasions if you have superheroes out there that will either force the devs to give them the keys and the code, and then they'll take it over and then help you all out, which is what happened with Floki. And then there's other times where they won't do that. I know there was one company called Scroll, and they rebranded and renamed to XD. I thought they were going to be big. I had a good amount of money in them. And then another one was it was called Thor, not Thor Chain or V Chain Thor, none of those. It was called Thor, and they were supposed to be helping out in the gig economy, and they were going to be based on Neo. And it didn't work out. So, and that was one that was like an ICO type of thing. So I lost money in that one too. And the recent one was Saturn Beam. So I have no problem fully admitting to you all, I am here for you guys. I know exactly what you guys are going through when it comes to these different ones. But damn, when it came to Squid Game, at least read some of the stuff. Don't just trust what people are saying. And it sucks. It really does. But I'll explain the differences in some of the rug pulls. So we'll start off with the rug pull that happened with the Squid Game token. And with the Squid Game token rug pull, the price was going up and people were buying in, but the code that was used on the back end indicated that people could only buy. And that's messed up what the developers did. It's not messed up, it's fucked up what the developers did, that they ended up putting the code in it so that you couldn't sell. So all these people are buying. So it looks great that the price is going up, but they do that and then they can flood the market with their tokens so that they can get out. And that's what happens. And it left your tokens that you are holding actually not have any value. And the code is plugged in that you all can't sell either. And only people can buy. So it looks amazing. But for the devs, they were able to escape. And the price just kept shooting up. I remember there are videos out there, and some people are looking at the price. This one guy said it was over $1 trillion. I'm surprised by hearing that number, but the price just kept shooting up. In a matter of seconds, it was gone, and nobody could do anything about it. And even on, I think it was CoinMarketCap or one of the sites, they even said this is not affiliated with Squid Game. I'm not one that's watched all the Squid Games. I remember one time I was laying on the couch and I tried to watch it, and I kind of got into it. Not really, but I was half asleep. Then another time I was with my friends in Philly, and they were watching it downstairs, but again, like it was late, so I didn't fully watch it. But y'all really said, let's just take part in this meme season. They had errors on their website and stuff like that. So make sure to just read, pick yourself up, lick your wounds, like get back out there. You can't just make this your last experience in cryptocurrency. I've had good times, I've had bad times. I got into Band Protocol and Utrust and Cody when hardly anybody heard of them. And that's what the benefit of this space is. I rode a riot chain all the way up to $100, and I still hold a riot chain. So there's a lot of different ones out there. When it comes to meme coins and meme tokens, you have to make sure you're doing your research. Look at not just research saying, let's see what the white paper says. You have to look what the community is talking about. You have to see how many people are in the community. You have to check the telegrams, the Discord, see what they're saying on social media too. Sometimes some of the founders will even have their Twitter links to the website. So check that out too, just so you can see, because maybe it is decent. So once that checks your first box, then try and do some more research, see what they're saying on Twitter. Twitter is your best place. Forget what anybody says. Facebook is cool and all, whatever. Meta, sure. Instagram, all right, that's not going to get you too far. Clubhouse, that's fine. LinkedIn, okay, cool. But look at Twitter. When it comes to real-time cryptocurrency companies, check their LinkedIns as well. But on here, Twitter, look at what people are saying. If you see that dollar sign, that dollar symbol, and then you end up seeing a ticker symbol by it, just look it all up. Do a lot of research. You can never do too much research. Even Dex Tools has you with different things. So look at CoinGecko, Dex Tools. You can look to see if the meme coin has bottomed out and then it's on its way back up. You can see if it's on a sharp decline. Then you probably want to do some more research to see why did it just drop so much. For example, Blocktopia, they just had an unlock. Blocktopia is not a meme coin, but that's my example. They just had a drop off because they had a sell off and tokens were unlocked. So it flooded the market up more supply. So of course the price is going to go down. But that's the name of the game when it comes to these things. So you have to just see your research, understand. Another aspect of meme tokens that can happen is when they lock up the liquidity. And so that's what happened with Saturn Beam. They had a lot of these different liquidity pools, and you can end up staking. Sometimes it was you had to use Moon River and Saturn Beam. It could just be Saturn Beam itself, and they have it. So they write the code on that, and then they have access to it. Then you have coins that have basically nothing. You don't have anything, so they can lock it and take it because it's on the back end. So think of it like almost similar to a bank or something like that, a super, super, super rigged, flawed bank. And you said, all right, I'm gonna give you my money. Cool, sign the contract like on blockchain. You can sign the blockchain, the smart contract, and then on the back end, they have it, they take it. They didn't give it back to you. And that's what happens. They're gonna have losses, but just make sure your wins are more than your losses, and you'll be straight in this space. So that's my 2 cents on rug pulls. I don't want to just preach about rug pulls all night, but just do your due diligence. If you're having a tough time and you're concerned, I would stick with Coinbase, Gemini, BlockFi, Voyager, Cash App, those different ones. You'll be fine. You're not going to have a lot of worries on those because they do so much vetting. Even Coinbase is a public company, so they're not going to have those things happen. Binance is another one that's starting to be out there that is going to go public in a couple of years, Binance US. So you can start to trust some of the ones they're doing. They also will do delistings. Kraken and FTX are other good exchanges that you can use. Centralized exchanges I'm talking about, not decentralized. Centralized exchanges that you all can use. There's other ones out there, but those are the main ones, especially for people in America, that you can have some confidence in and trust. My personal favorite that I like that almost has everything I need is KuCoin. They've had issues. I know they had a hack at one point, but they made sure to take care of all their customers that were using their exchange. So that's something I do believe in. I do appreciate the owners came out and said what happened and made sure that they were going to take care of us. So they won't have as many rug pulls on those type, but on the decentralized exchanges, it's just you and the person. There is no middleman. So those things will happen at times. You got to make sure you do your research and look at the amount of holders too. If it has like 2 holders, maybe you want to wait for a second, unless you know the people personally. And then even when it comes to rug pulls, make sure you look at who the top holders are. So sometimes they have a sneaky way of being like hiding it. So it looks as though the burn contracts are the top ones, but the one that they're really trying to slide the money in might be another account that's a little lower down. So just research what the holding is for each of the different cryptocurrency wallets that are for a specific cryptocurrency. Next thing I want to do is, and I got to shout out the class. So as everyone knows, I'm still in school. I got like 5-6 weeks left with my master's. And the professor called on me to talk about NFTs. So you know how much I go on here, just talk about NFTs and cryptocurrency and stuff. I did that in class, except I got looks in the class as if you've been hiding something from us the whole time. So it ended with me ended up talking to people about their cryptocurrency portfolios and just letting them know. So I got to say what's up and shout out to the class because I know people start to watch over the time. Just welcome to the channel. It's a fun one to end up watching. We have a lot of content. Tonight I'll try and bring it for you too. And we just going to keep it rolling. So that's the next big thing. Got to say a major shout out. So this is the part when Steve would be like, shout out. But a big kudos goes out to Lukso. They hit $40 today. It's a big milestone for anyone that's been in Lukso that knows. I've been watching Lukso since under $1, and I see where Lukso is now. So it's a fulfilling thing to see Lukso be where it is, and it's in the top 200. But anyone that's a Lukso holder, and we just hit 10,000 holders. Anyone that's a Lukso holder knows that this is just the beginning. We know that so many more people have to find out and understand us. We're in testnet, and we're just gonna keep going. Like I have price targets sitting at around 200 to 250 on the lower side of things, and that's nothing for them to hit. So that's an easily accomplished goal that they can do, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So when it happens, holla at me. Just know. Next thing I want to end up talking about, we'll go back to talking about some of my picks that I ended up having recently. So each month for everyone out there, I do crypto picks just to like help everybody out. We did pretty good with some of them. Last month, a big one was Floki. So I really love the team over at Floki. They looked out for us. I mentioned that before, but Floki is sitting at over a $2.8 billion market cap, and they've just continued to do work over there. But the November picks that we have are Quant, we have Time, so Wonderland, we have Blocktopia, which is another good one. Got to give it up for number 4, which is IGG, so Intergalactic Gaming. And huge shout out to the fam, the homie Mark. He's been doing so much, so I got to give this to him. Came on. And so it's just cool what IGG has been doing over there. They have tournaments coming up. So Mark has created this Keemon tournament, well, Keemon Cup. So they're trying to figure out the game that's going to be on it. I've helped to be a community sponsor for it. So I'm excited to see who's the winner. And it's something that if Marker Intergalactic Gaming ends up asking if I can help sponsor other ones in the future, I absolutely will. I'll take part and help out in any way I can. Mark, I'll do another one in a little bit, probably to end this on with the better Keemon for y'all. But number 5, Panther Protocol. So this is a secret that not as many people know about. And Panther Protocol is in the privacy sphere. I've talked to some of the team members, and I'm excited for what they have to come. So just keep that on your radar. They have a public sale towards the end of this month. November 11th is another big day, Listen Token. So they have their token generation event, and that is November 11th. So pay attention to that. As for a meme coin to watch, Tiger Cup. So right now, some of the whales have been selling, but because they have Tiger King coming out around like November 16th, November 17th, the price, will go up around that time. Since it's a meme coin, people don't realize you buy the rumor, sell the news. They just think you buy. So you will start to see the price go up at that point, but just be careful currently because a lot of people are selling that have been in Tiger King and Tiger Cub for a minute. Tiger Cub is on Binance Smart Chain, Pancake Swap, so that's what I've been using. Going into the next one, I just want to talk about, so there was an investor in Shiba Inu, and he put in, a lot of you might have heard about this, my crypto friends out there, but Shiba Inu, this guy put $8,000, guy or girl, this person put $8,000 into Shiba Inu and had $5 billion. Billion. Yes, $1 billion. $5 billion. Wild shit. I ain't never heard of nothing like that. That's better than any lottery, anything you can imagine. But yeah, $5 billion. And they still got the money. So wanted to mention that. Some big kudos because it's an exciting day. Every single time this happens, we're always going to bring it here. But Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, discount double check. He is going to take part of his salary, a portion of it, in Bitcoin. And he's going to work on Cash App to make that happen. So got to give it up for Aaron Rodgers for that. That's another big name out there. You have Trevor Lawrence that's doing it too. And the list just keeps going. I mean, it's a great time. Tom Brady's doing it. Kate Cunningham with BlockFi. It's exciting to see these various different people that are taking part in cryptocurrency. And I'm looking forward to seeing the future of it, especially as someone that's been in as long as me. It half the time I am excited about the price, but I love the technology. I love the friends that I've met. I appreciate what people are doing and how helpful you can be when it comes to cryptocurrency and blockchain and just guiding people. There are good and bad people everywhere, but I will say a lot of the good people in cryptocurrency try to look out for you. If there are scams, they try to block those. If you haven't heard of it, they'll try to let you know, myself included. And a lot of the people out there, I would say if you're not a part of a community, there are a lot of communities to take part in. Intergalactic Gaming, they're one. Mark and Adam are two people out there, cryptocurrency Twitter people. They're not a part of the team, but they're two amazing people that you can ask them questions and they'll be fine. Any of my Follow Fridays, just look at them. All those people are there to help you and to help you learn. So I can go on and on about the amount of people that are in that family that'll guide you, explain things to you, talk to you. You can look at Medium articles from them. You can look at the community Telegram that they have. There's numerous different places you can look to find all this information. And that's what makes it amazing. Another one is Safe Haven. So one of my brothers in the space, Tyler, all that he's doing at Safe Haven, he can help guide you in that direction. And that's the biggest thing. Find a community that you can become a part of and listen to, talk to, learn information from. That's why we try to bring different people on the show. So you can end up getting a face, putting a name to a face and the company, whether it's a company that's already well known or a company that's growing. Look what Penguin's doing. We brought them on before a lot of people even knew what Pangolin was going to do, and the Avalanche blockchain exploded. And that's what's so great about this space. We even had Utu on here, and it's cool because every single Friday I'm like, all right, what's Mike about to put out? So it's just great. Simon does an amazing job helping out the Utu community too. And I could just go on and on about the various different communities that I talk about. Trava, me and Wade be just chopping it up about different things when it comes to Trava and Araya Chain. Even you have units in that community is strong too. So find your communities and they'll help you out. But reason why I brought all that up was because of Aaron Rodgers. The next thing I want to talk about is Microsoft. So Microsoft is working to get into the metaverse. And anyone that's already in the metaverse knew these things would happen. They got to go where the money is. They got to go where the technology is. And Microsoft is trying to add that, add metaverse to their stuff. They have the money to do it. So I'm not even surprised that they're doing this. It's a smart investment for them to make. They're doing it with the Xbox app, so you can start to check that out soon. And I want to touch on Mayor Suarez. So he's going to be taking his next paycheck in Bitcoin. And that's a big thing. So Mayor Suarez is the mayor of the city of Miami. And for anyone out there that pays attention to Twitter, you saw Anthony Pompliano end up saying some of these politicians need to start taking their salaries in Bitcoin or take your paychecks in Bitcoin. Suarez said, all right, put me in, coach. And Suarez said he about to go do that. So that's something else that's really big. It's a major step when you start to see politicians do it. First, you saw El Salvador take that lead. There was some pushback, but look at the promise that Bitcoin is going to do for that economy. Currently, it's something that even if it's just an education tool, that's a good thing in itself. And then what Suarez is doing, other people will start to say, all right, what did this dude just do? He just put his paycheck in Bitcoin. Then the new mayor, my brother, the new mayor of New York City, he's an advocate for Bitcoin. I don't know if he's going to do it yet because they got a brother up in New York City as the mayor and then as the Bitcoin. So I don't know. I know he'll probably talk about it. And then some people in Congress are starting to bring that up too. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But kudos to that. And something else that you all may or may not have heard of, I put it on Twitter, but Nike is looking to hire virtual material designers. AK, they're getting in the metaverse. AK, they're getting into NFTs and stuff. AK, if you was a part of Luxo, you already knew this shit was going to go down. So for the other people out there in the public, y'all a little behind, but I'm going to give you some credit and slack for listening to this. But this is your chance to know. If you look on anything Luxo, you'll notice some names up there that might say Nike, may or may not say Nike. I'm gonna tell you it do say Nike, but that's how you can end up finding information about it. So we knew it was going to happen. They already started filling out the paperwork and on the low putting it up there like, yeah, we about to get into this shit. So it's something that we love to see. It's just now a lot more people are starting to talk about it and it's starting to get out there. People are starting to do the due diligence and research, but that Luxo community is strong. And you can ask any of the people in Luxo, we knew this shit was going to happen. So Nike came out and said it so the world could hear it, but Nike knew them. Luxo family already knew it was about to be happening. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens in that world. That's everything when it comes to the cryptocurrency side of things. We'll have a lot more next week too. I want to just touch on some of that. The big thing, Aaron Rodgers was a huge thing. So him taking a portion of his salary in it, and then Mayor Suarez, NFT New York City was happening. I saw a lot of big things. I saw Fabian and Marjorie get down with the little dances, and Luxo hit $40 too. So remember, rug pulls are going to happen. But with that, I want to transfer over and switch sides over into the sports world. And I know there's a lot to talk about, but the first thing I want to just mention really quick, I got to say shout out to the A. So the ATL, Atlanta Braves, they're going to be in Magic City all weekend long. It's like, nah. But Atlanta Braves won 7-0 to the Houston Astros. And that's a big thing. So I love it for the city. I love it for everyone out there. And I don't know, man. It's a good thing for Atlanta. I love that these cities get to see championships brought home. For so long, it was the same teams that would win. Just seeing new teams win is a great feeling. And it's cool to end up seeing the Astros. Bro, they get there all the time. Cheat or no cheat, they gonna find a way to get to the World Series. They lost 2 recently and they won 1. So they technically got a ring, but that was their cheating stuff. So a lot of people are saying they lost 3 times. But kudos to the manager. Pretty sure that was Dusty Baker that was out there. So I do got to say a big shout out to Dusty Baker for him bringing the team there. I know a lot of people don't realize the significance of it, but for Dusty Baker to, at the age of 72, get the Astros to the World Series, that's a big accomplishment. But the Braves won it. So congratulations to them. The next thing I want to talk about, and more information just starts to come out each and every day. If I get Steve, well, if I can, probably next week, Steve and I'll touch on this again. But it's such a disappointing thing to hear, and it's such a sad situation that would happen in Las Vegas. And if anyone knows what I'm talking about, they know that Henry Ruggs was driving his car 156 miles an hour. At the time of the accident, when it happened, it was around 120 miles an hour. No matter what, that's still too fast to be driving your car. Why the hell you need to be driving your car that fast? But get this, that's not even the whole story. So Henry Ruggs, who's a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, he was behind the wheel of a car, of a moving vehicle, a motorized vehicle, intoxicated. He was twice the legal blood alcohol content level for that area. Twice the legal limit. You weren't 0.0001 above that limit. You were twice the limit. And you got behind the car. And there was someone else in the car with you. And you were driving a Corvette. And this girl that just died, you killed somebody because you decided to get behind the wheel of a car. You sped over 100 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour. And at the time of the accident, when the airbags went out, you were driving over 120 miles an hour. And if anyone's seen the video, which is horrible, the car was on fire. So now Henry Ruggs his life has changed forever. The family, lady's name is Tina Tintor, if I have that correctly, is the lady that passed away. She was only 23 years old. And that's something else that's so devastating. For something you could have controlled. Her life is over, Henry. And the Raiders just put up a tweet probably 2 or 3 weeks ago that said speed kills, and they're talking about Henry Ruggs. And you look at it now, and speed does kill because he was going 156 miles an hour. So the Raiders have had a lot going on. They had Gruden, and now they have Henry Ruggs. And they have to find a way to get over all of this. It's a lot of different things that are happening in 1 year. And nobody would have expected any of this to come out at the beginning of the season. So I do feel terrible. My heart and prayers goes out to the family of the victim. I also will be thinking about Henry Ruggs' family too, because I know they're reflecting, thinking, why would we raise him to do something better than that? Granted, they may or may not have said that, but everyone thinks, why would you do something like that? 156, why do you need to go that fast? You're not on a racetrack. But I'll end the rant there and not keep going on that. Just know that that's something that I do wish Henry Ruggs does think about. More than likely, he's going to face jail time. That looks like what's going to happen. The way the Raiders did what they did, they kind of like, yeah, no, we out. Soon as, because they get the information a little bit faster than probably what the media gets, because they have the sources inside that are able to figure out that information. But Anna was in Vegas, yeah, hell no. That, come on, Henry, like there's no need for you to go that fast. And there was a gun in the car too, fam. So that's my only thing when it comes to that part of it. I want to blend the sports and finance really quickly for you all. So Body Armor just was bought by Coca-Cola, and they were sold for $4.1 billion. So the founder, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, Mike Rapole, he ended up giving 400 employees over $500,000 in checks. And that's what I love to see. These owners, if you remember when we talked about Spanx, she did the same thing. And now we're talking about Body Armor. Body Armor is a company. So one of my first jobs, we did football camps. And what's football camps? One of the companies we did work with was Body Armor. And this was early time, or not as many people knew about what Body Armor was necessarily, but Kobe was one that did invest in Body Armor. And Kobe's estate, rest in peace, Kobe, but Kobe's estate now has over $400 million because of an investment he made. So that's another big thing that a lot of people need to realize. These athletes, Kevin Durant is doing it with Rich Kleiman, and they're going to start thinking about their future. You'll see the smart ones know that all this money we're making, we can invest it, put it into things that'll make our money grow for us. Generational wealth, that's what we got to do. And I got to give a lot of credit to all those employees. Their lives have changed forever because that company was bought. That's a big thing. A lot of those early investors, they get their checks now because that company was purchased, and now they get that free capital. And what do they get to? Reinvest that money if they want to. Spend money to make money. That's the name of the game. I was just talking to Mark about that. You got to give a little to get some. And that's what they end up doing. So that's what I wanted to talk about there. Next thing I want to talk about really quick is most isolation points NBA. So this is a random stat, but it's an interesting stat when you hear the top 3 names. So SGA, you know him, Mr. Alexander, for the OKC Thunder, Shy. He has the most isolation points, and the next 2 behind him are James Harden and Kevin Durant. And what stands out about that is those 2 names behind him, and including him, that's all they know. That's all they can do. Well, let me take that back. That's not all Kevin Durant knows. He knows how to be a team player, but that's all they're able to do currently in their situations. James Harden is a big ISO player that he can end up doing that. But also, when you put so much money into Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, you're going to get a lot of ISO ball. When you got SGA damn near by himself down there, they have some other pieces, kind of, but that's going to take years for them to get a team. It's going to be isolation basketball there. Another thing I wanted to bring up, because this was like one of my childhood favorite athletes, Carmelo Anthony. He's shooting the best of his career. He's shooting 50% from the field. And he seems to have found a good spot for him to be in. I normally don't want the same team to win championships over and over and over again, but it'd be a great feeling to see Carmelo, Russell Westbrook, all of them win championships and to be able to go out on a high note. So they're not retiring yet, but they'll at least have that on their resume. Another thing I just want to talk about, just going into it super fast, we'll go into NFL trades. So Von Miller is going to be on the Rams for a second and third round pick. So that's something of note. It's very important that you all will end up noticing, because now they have all three layers covered. So you have Aaron Donald up front, you have Von Miller in the middle, and then you got Jalen Ramsey on the back end. So that defense is good. You can tell they're in a win now situation from the Matthew Stafford. They made sure to get some line Darrell Henderson since Cam Akers isn't there, and Sony Michel. You have nice receivers, Van Jefferson, Robert Woods, and that man, Cooper Kupp. You have Higbee at the tight end. And then even on the defense, it's a nice defense that they have. And you got Matthew Stafford to run that ship. And what I've told people time and time again is Matthew Stafford had Calvin Johnson. Look at what he did there. Matthew Stafford has Cooper Kupp. Look what he's doing now. The bigger part is Matthew Stafford, when he is happy, he is going to play well. When you got him up there in Detroit, year after year, just wasting his years and career, he ain't going to do shit. He can't do much. But when you give him a good team, a good group around him, and in a situation for him to win, you're going to see things happen. And that's what Matthew Stafford is doing right now. Jameis Winston's injured, and Derrick Henry got injured too. Those are two big injuries. Aaron Rodgers has COVID, so he probably will not be playing this upcoming week. Derrick Henry has a foot injury, so he is done for the year at this point. They say 6 to 10 weeks, but we will have to see how long it becomes, but he's on IR regardless. Jameis Winston tore his ACL, and he was still dancing in the locker room. I'm pretty sure the doctors did not say, yeah, go ahead, Jameis, you can go dance in the locker room. I'm pretty sure that's not what they said was a good idea, but he did it. And Jameis going to be Jameis. You can't hate on him. Jameis is a funny guy. But I'll go into some other things real quick. If you all saw Cedric Wilson, he flicked the ball for the Cowboys like it was a regular play. He threw it like 40, 50 yards on the run to CeeDee Lamb. This is the wide receiver that's doing that. So if you haven't looked at the video, go back and look at the video, because for Wilson ended up just doing that like it was nothing, it's pretty damn impressive. It shows you how athletic these athletes are. That just was not their best position to play. But just go look at that video. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Just go check out that video, because he was on the run and just threw it down the field as if that's a normal play for people to end up making. Perfect throw. Going into the games for this week, so we're gonna do this together. So Jets, Colts. So I'm gonna go with the Colts. Hey Carson, you better stay healthy, fam, because we're gonna need you. Pittman doing good, Jonathan Taylor looking good. So let's see if the Colts can end up pulling that one out for us this week. Browns and Bengals. So I got the Bengals in this one. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I think that they'll do well. If you all noticed, you probably saw Odell Beckham, what his dad said. He also was not at practice recently. But so you have Jarvis Landry that's out there. You have Nick Chubb, and then Kareem Hunt is injured. But we will see what Joe Burrow and the Bengals can end up doing. But I have the Bengals this week. I do want to see what the Browns can end up doing moving forward, to see if they can continue to play well, or if they end up needing to figure out new players that they need to get on their team. But I do have the Bengals winning that one. Next game, we got the Broncos, aka Teddy Two Gloves, and the Denver Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater, and the Cowboys. And in that one, I do have the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just on another level currently. And I think it's something that going forward, we will start to see a lot from the Cowboys. Although I'm an Eagles fan, I do believe that the Cowboys are looking very good this year. And between CeeDee Lamb, you got Dak Prescott, you have Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott. That's something I was talking to people today. And it annoyed me so much how the Minnesota Vikings legit let Ezekiel Elliott go right in between the defense on a down that they should have stopped and kept him to a field goal. Nope, Ezekiel Elliott ran right through. And the way Ezekiel Elliott carried the ball, he was bracing for contact that never happened. And he got a first down on that play. So I got the Cowboys winning that one. I can go on and on about the Minnesota Vikings, but I'll leave that for when I talk about the Vikings. The next game we have the Texans and the Dolphins. And this is a game that is not as easy as a lot of people think it might be. Devontae Parker, for everyone out there, if you have not done your waivers yet, or if you're looking for a person to pick up, make sure to check out picking up Devontae Parker. But I have the Miami Dolphins. So in that game, of course, so far I've chosen like 4 home teams, but I have the Miami Dolphins winning that one. Next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons against the New Orleans Saints. And now the Saints don't have Jameis, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but ooh, this is a little tough. I'm going to go with the Falcons. It sounds random, but I'll go with the Falcons on this one. And I'm just hoping that Kyle Pitts can actually do something this game. Matt Ryan, just start to Kyle Pitts. Please do something. I also want to just take a minute to acknowledge Calvin Ridley, and I appreciate and respect his decision. Not a lot of people understand this, but mental health is a serious thing that a lot more players will feel open about coming out. Early on in life, they would not come out. They would keep it in, but now they realize this is bigger than a game, and you have to take care of your mental health. And that's something I do appreciate that Calvin Ridley has said this. He has acknowledged it. And I think that it's good for everybody that this is something that he has said. So Calvin Ridley, I'm with you no matter if it's a week, the rest of the season, the rest of your career. I fully support you. And I do like that you've done something like this. You're thinking of yourself. And that's something as a football player you need to do because not everyone out there is going to do. So I got the Falcons in that one. Raiders, Giants. Shit, this is a tough one. Reason it's tough is because they always got some shit going on in Vegas, but they're coming off the bye, so let's see how they can do. They still got Darren Waller. The Giants do look good. They're losing, but they're not looking bad. I mean, Daniel Jones has figured out a way to throw the ball. Chiefs defense is just not good. But I got the Raiders in that one. Next one are the Patriots and the Panthers. Rumor has it that PJ Walker is going to be the starter because Sam Darnold is in the concussion protocol, but that Pats defense, when it wants to come alive, it can come alive. And I got the Patriots. Next game, we got the Bills and Jaguars. Don't even need to talk about that. You know how I feel about the Bills. A1, day one, straight up, no matter what. I'm going to choose them every single week, win, lose, or draw. And I got the Buffalo Bills. Next one, I have the Vikings and the Ravens. Because of what the Vikings just did last week, I'm choosing the Ravens. This is another team that I strongly support and love, have nothing but straight love for the city of Baltimore, the state of Maryland, Lamar Jackson as a quarterback, as well as me being a season ticket holder of them, but I got to go with the Ravens. I think that it's amazing what the Ravens have been doing this year, and I think it'll continue. So this next game, Chargers and Eagles. Because the Eagles cannot stop the run, and they do not have enough defenders to be able to stop. And I could be totally wrong. They could surprise me. Who the hell knows? I don't think it's true, but I could be wrong, and I'll fully be open to it. But they're sitting at 3-5 right now. The Eagles. You need to run the damn ball. But I have the Chargers in this one. I just think if y'all let Justin Herbert get loose real quick, you ain't stopping that. Slay gonna have to play really tough, and he gonna have to get all of his cornerbacks on the same page. But I have the Chargers in that one. Packers Chiefs. So this is a different game now because Aaron Rodgers is not playing. I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs. If Aaron Rodgers was playing, I would have gone with the Packers because look at what the Packers just did to the Cardinals. But since Aaron Rodgers is not playing, I will have the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. Kansas City, you do need to step that defense up because you guys are letting up too many points. Patrick Mahomes, you are not off the hook either. Patrick Mahomes is starting to be a little loose with that ball, man. So toughen up, homie. You better start holding that ball. Cardinals, 49ers, till they prove otherwise, I got to go with the Cardinals. The 49ers, pay attention to Deebo Samuel. My man is going to work. Wide receiver numbers that he is putting up. He is in the top 4 for fantasy wide receiver points. Work. Put in work. That's exactly what he's doing. Next game, Titans Rams. So I'm going with the Rams. If Derrick Henry was healthy, I would probably choose the Titans potentially. But because they don't have Derrick Henry, which is their whole team, I got to go with the Rams. They solid all around. And I don't think it's something a lot of teams can stop. Finally, we got the Bears and the Steelers. Even though Steven doesn't always choose the Steelers anymore, I got the Steelers in this one. They're playing Justin Fields and the Bears, and they're having a tough time. So I got the Steelers in this one. Fantasy pickups that I want to talk about with you all. So before we get into fantasy pickups, I want to just talk about the wide receivers. So the top 4 wide receivers in fantasy right now are Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, and Deebo Samuel. Let that sink in. And think about what they all have similar. They're quicker receivers. They're not necessarily the tallest receivers either. But all 3 of them, Cooper's in the slot a decent amount of the time. Tyreek's just fast. My man's just going to get it. And then Jamar Chase has been a stud out there in Cincinnati. Him and Joe Burrow, they just got a connection. And Deebo Samuel just doing what Deebo Samuel do when he plays. But fantasy pickups, so pay attention to Taysom Hill. If you need a quarterback to get you some running yards too, go look at Taysom Hill. Adrian Peterson and Jeremy McNichols, those are 2 big pickups because Derrick Henry is injured. Currently, Adrian Peterson is on the practice squad, but make sure to end up looking at what ends up happening going forward. Adrian Peterson was who they chose because he fits a similar build and run style as Derrick Henry. So I would not be surprised if they try to give him the ball a lot in the run game. Then Jeremy McNichols is who they end up going to in the passing game. So Jeremy McNichols will get a lot of the work probably this upcoming week to give Adrian Peterson a flow of everything. But in a lot of leagues I'm in, both of them just went off really quickly. If you all don't have waivers yet, or if in your league you don't have anybody that chose them, just pick them up, stash them on the bench for a little bit and see what ends up happening. Another one, so 2 other ones because I never know who they're going to choose, but Boston Scott and Jordan Howard for the Eagles, running backs. I go running back heavy because in leagues that I've won, I went running back heavy. I do talk about wide receivers too, but the ones you need to focus on are running backs for right now. You don't always get a lot of running backs that randomly get a chance, but Boston Scott is the one you want to check on. I don't think he's going to get 2 touchdowns every single game, so don't believe that this is about to happen again. But pay attention to Boston Scott. Another one is Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin, tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. He's pretty good. I've seen some of the catches that he gets up on. He is averaging 4 targets. So pay attention to him if he's out there in any of your leagues. Defenses I want to talk about. So the Saints D, they'll be playing the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, I did choose the Falcons in the game, but all it takes is 1 interception, take that back to the house. A fumble recovery, take that back to the house. Sacks. They're going to get sacks. The Saints are. That defense will come alive. Look what they just did to the Buccaneers. So it's possible that it can happen. So just watch for that. It's probably crazy, but I'm going to switch my picks. I'll switch it on the air, and I'm going with the Saints. So erase everything you just heard before. I'm going with the Saints over the Falcons. I was a little bit out of my mind and trying to go too hot for a second. And another defense is the Pats. So the Pats are playing the Panthers. So pay attention to that defense and a wide receiver that's out there that is getting a lot of work right now. Last week they did. Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker's been in the league for a minute. Tua felt comfortable throwing it to him. So make sure you all pay attention and check out Devontae Parker. But that is everything when it comes to sports and cryptos. A couple of shout outs I do want to end up giving and talking about really quick. So got to give a shout out to some birthdays that are coming up. So got to give a shout out to my boy John, whose birthday, when this video gets published, will be his birthday. So happy birthday, my guy. Appreciate everything you do in life. And then my mentor and somebody I definitely look up to and talk to a lot, Sante. His birthday's over the weekend, so got to give a big shout out and happy birthday to him. for that, I want to talk about stuff that Stephen probably would be like, why the hell are you talking about this? But I want to talk about some meme coins. So a couple that I'm in and you can probably check out. So I did mention Tiger Cub. So Tiger Cub and Tiger King are two meme coins you can check out. Do some research on those. I am also in Moonstar. So Moonstar is one. It's a flyer. Again, don't put all your money in the world in it, but put something in it. Floki is another one. And Floki is one that I have seen since the bottom, and I wrote it all the way to the top. I had less than $30 in it at one point when the devs and everyone did the shit they did, and I've seen it resurrected with some people I know over there. And I have seen it go to above a $3 billion market cap. So Floki is one that I will always believe in. They have signs damn near everywhere now. So make sure to check out Floki if you can. They're on exchanges. They're getting listed. Some to name for you. They're on Uniswap. They're on PancakeSwap. They're on Gate.io. So you can check them out over there. Going into some other ones, Pew Finance. Go check out the chart. That's all I want to say about Pew Finance. Kibu Inu is another one that you all might want to give a check out to and just look at. It's on a pullback now, so this is not a bad time for everyone to get involved or to take part in it. And I'm in another one called Zeno Inu. I wouldn't recommend that one as much as the other ones, but if you want like a super risk, who the hell knows if it's going to go up or not, you can try it. But those are the different meme coins that I am currently in. Check out my Twitter. You can see more over there, and probably won't bring them up a lot, but I did want to just let you all know, since this is like the season of the memes. At one point I was in Doge Elon Mars. So yes, Elon, I was in that one. Then I was in Akita for a second. I was in Australian Shepherd or whatever, Ass. I was in that one for a second too. Shiba Pup, I saw that go up and down. I saw Shiba Ants. That was another one that went up and down. You just got to know that it's more than just looking at the chart. If the thing went up 600%, don't just jump into it, because you're probably not going to end the way you want it to end. But that's it for over there. I want to appreciate you all, as always, for tuning in, listening. If you all are in the DMV area, November 17th, I will be sitting down to talk to the Vice President of Corporate Development for Capital One, Mason Young. So come check that out. We have tickets still available. They're limited because a lot of people started to sign up, but make sure to check that out. That's everything over here at We Got Next. We appreciate you. Shout out Steven. We'll catch back up next week. Steven _ Springs. I'm at Ayo Shifty. You already know that though. And then We Got Next WGN Podcast. Got anything out there for us? Let us know. If you want to do timestamps for us, hey, we'll be more than happy and appreciative of that if you could do that for us. But we appreciate you all, as always, just tuning in, listening to everything. Other than that, I think we out. Thanks for listening.